Kemi Badenoch's attempt to reset her or to outline her store is actually more of the same. There's a lot of rhetoric, but when you come down to looking at the details, it's not even about a hostile environment. It's about hostility, pure and simple. It's about aggression. And now she not only wants to get rid of asylum seekers, she wants to get rid of the civil servants who are tasked with doing that job. She doesn't think they are robust enough. She doesn't think they are recruited from the right material. The civil servants are wrong. Fundamentally, the civil servants are wrong because they had previously been involved in working for charities that helped asylum seekers, that helped refugees, and that, as far as Kemi Badenoch is concerned, is inappropriate. She's outlined her plans to overhaul the Home Office and the civil service hiring process, which reflects her controversial approach to reshape the priorities of government officials, particularly those dealing with immigration and asylum. Her assertion that many civil servants are not effectively managing Britain's borders because it is not what they came in to do strikes at the heart of an ongoing debate about the role of empathy and the humanitarian value set which the government promotes, especially in areas as sensitive as immigration. Her criticism of Home Office staff, whom she claims are more inclined towards helping refugees rather than enforcing border control, raises serious questions about the kind of civil service that the UK should aspire to maintain. She argues for a more targeted recruitment process that aligns civil service motivation with the government's policy goals, specifically stricter immigration controls. And this approach suggests a shift towards more utilitarian and perhaps less compassionate bureaucratic culture where the enforcement of policy takes precedence over humanitarian considerations and over basic humanity. This will be some sort of conveyor belt of misery. And the stance has not gone without criticism. Refugee charities, as reported in The Independent, which has just run a very interesting article on this, have condemned Badenoch's remarks, arguing that her rhetoric contributes to a climate that could foster far-right violence. Of course it could. Of course it does. That's who she's pandering to. It's a serious accusation, pointing to the broader implications of politicising immigration in such a way. Tim Hilton, the CEO of Refugee Action, highlights the dangers of neglecting the historical and ethical dimensions of Britain's immigration policies, referencing Windrush as a cautionary tale. And the scandal there, which involved the wrongful detention and deportation of Commonwealth citizens who came here to Britain to help at our request, underscores the catastrophic consequences of a government disconnected from the lived realities and the histories of the people that it governs. Badenoch's approach, which she describes as rewiring the whole system, yes, to explode it, seems to emphasize efficiency and control over the civil service's traditional role of impartiality and public service. While there is certainly room for debate about the effectiveness and focus of a modern civil service, Badenoch's rhetoric risks alienating those who view public service as a vocation that inherently includes compassion and the broader understanding and action on human rights. And her criticism of the previous government's approach, which she claims talked right but governed left, reflects a broader ideological shift within the Conservative Party. She appears to be advocating for more uncompromising efforts to destroy rather than focusing on a narrow range of goals executed with what she calls brilliance. But this raises concerns about the potential exclusion of nuanced and diverse perspectives of humanity within government policy making. Her proposals aim to bring about significant change in the functioning of the Home Office and the civil service, but they also risk fostering a more rigid, less empathetic government, a government which they risk the civil service being politicised, and the backlash from refugee charities and the invocation of past government failures could not be more extreme, particularly in the light of the Windrush scandal. And it suggests that her plans could lead to more harm than good, especially if they contribute to a less inclusive, less thoughtful, and a more divided society. Her vision, though clear in its intent to streamline and enforce policy, overlooks the fundamental values of fairness, compassion, that historically has dominated the British response to the stranger among us, that are essential to good governance.